They're amazing clients, aren't they?
They are.
She is an amazing individual, and I can understand she inspired you to win this case. Tell us a little how you won the case.
We won it with a lot of hard work, and we really won it because of her. We won it by getting the best experts, by doing animations, by interviewing witnesses, and by forensically showing how this accident happened.
Now, the key person in this was the truck driver on the defense's side. And fortunately, you did a lot of video depositions that we're going to show a few of them where, for example, he admits that he made an illegal turn. So we'll go to that right now.
What does it say about making right turns from the right shoulder, or making U-turns from the right shoulder of the road?
Well, that's illegal.
So the move that you were making was illegal?
No, se puede hacer, pero no se debe hacer.
It can be done, but one shouldn't do it.
I also was amazed when you asked him in this deposition that whose fault it was, and he said what?
He blamed my client. He blamed Michelle.
And we have a certain segment of that. We'll show that right now.
I myself don't consider myself as at fault in this accident.
Who do you consider to be the cause of this accident?
¿Quién considera usted que es el causante de este accidente?
La muchacha que
The
chocó
girl.
conmigo.
The girl who crashed with me.
Their position from the beginning was it was her fault, wasn't it?
Yes.
How did they figure that? I mean, was that just their position because they didn't want to pay, or what was the rationale?
Well, Steve, I think, yeah, they didn't want to pay, but ultimately I think what it came down to was she was so badly injured, she had no recollection of the accident.
Yes.
And I think at the end of the day, they wanted to use that against her. In other words, she wasn't able to explain what she did to avoid the accident.
Yeah.
And that's what they were going to try to rely on. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
Now, this case was settled.
Correct.
But
On the eve of trial.
On the eve of trial. And how long had the preparation been from the date you got the case to the date of trial?
It was exactly 3 years from the date of the accident.
Wow.
We didn't get the case for a month. The parents were too concerned about their daughter to even hire a lawyer. We had 2 trial dates previously, and at the last moment the defense got emergency continuances.
Okay.
So we would have been ready to go 18 months after the accident, but we were put off that long.
Now, that seems a little unfair to your client where they get continuances that extend it 18 months.
Yes.
Why is the judge going along with that program?
Well, unfortunately, that's it's delay, delay, delay. That's the.
But how many times can they delay it?
Well,
You're smiling.
As many as they can, as often as they can.
But doesn't a judge step up finally and say, you know something, this is too many delays?
Well, understand that judges have over a thousand cases, and with the foreclosure crisis in Miami-Dade County, they have some 6,000 cases.
Yeah.
So their calendars are booked. And we try to fight for trial dates, actually.
Yes.
And in this case, we claimed we had a 3-week trial with a lot of witnesses, and we needed to go.
So the foreclosure crisis is causing a crisis with getting other cases heard.
Absolutely.
yeah, sure. It's just caused a tremendous influx of cases of litigation into the court system. So.
And the insurance companies know that, don't they?
Sure, of course, and they use that to delay and put off settlements.
Now, you said it was settled on the eve of trial.
Sunday
Tell us that
evening.
day what happened.
So I got a call from an adjuster Friday afternoon, and basically we spoke all weekend long, and on Sunday we finally resolved the case.
They came back with an initial lowball offer.
They lowballed this case to literally 11:59
on Sunday evening.
on Sunday evening.
It was the day before trial.
And at 11:59, you were talking to the lawyers on the other side?
Just about, yeah.
Okay, now, words have been exchanged on the telephone. How do you know the next morning you're going to wake up and they're going to even recall the conversation? They're going to disclaim they ever said it. When do you get things in writing?
We went in front of the judge the next morning, and I went on the record and announced the settlement and for how much and the terms of the settlement.
And this is a confidential settlement?
That's correct.
Okay. And so then the judge gives you how long to draw it up? So our audience understands how this works.
We drew it up that day.
You do. And part of the settlement is obviously they got to pay within a certain period of time.
Correct, and that's part of the terms of the settlement agreement.
And obviously they paid.
They've paid and it has been funded, yes.
But there are people that write up settlements that don't pay within that period of time, right?
We've had it this year. We've had to go into court a number of times to enforce settlements where we get attorney's fees, costs, and interest for making them pass.
Yeah, well, you guys did an outstanding job, and I'm glad you did because Michelle's a great person. So's her dad. And thank you very much for being on the program. Really
Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having us.
Nice to be here.
Thanks for joining us. You can get more information about our guests and the issues at insiderexclusive.com.